Hey guys, welcome to the Cycle of Life with TES podcast, where we say no devices and yes to change from inside out. On today's episode we will be discussing about how the human mind works. As we all know, most successful, happy, well-adjusted people we know, want to know the whys and hows of life. Give them reasons for doing things when you tell them what to do, and they will feel they are part of the project and not just employees following orders. Results are definitely better. Since this chapter might be the most significant one in the book, it is definitely the one which will produce the fastest results. I want to explain in lay language the way the mind works so that you will understand why we suggest taking certain steps and following the procedures we recommend. Then we get into a very specific procedure which will enable you to ensure your attitude and build a foundation so solid that your attitude controls your circumstances instead of your circumstances controlling your attitude. The mind works like a garden. Everyone knows if you plant beans, you won't raise potatoes, you will raise beans. Obviously, you don't plant a bean to raise a bean, you plant a bean to raise lots of beans. Between planting and harvest there is a tremendous increase in the number of beans. That's the way the mind works. Whatever you plant in the mind is going to come up multiplied. Plant a negative or a positive and you reap in multiples, because between planting and harvest, imagination enters the picture and multiplies the result. In some ways the mind also works like a money bank, but in other ways, it is quite different. For example, anybody and anything, radio, TV, etc., can make either positive or negative deposits in your mind bank. Generally speaking, you are the only one who makes deposits in your bank account, and all bank deposits are positive. You are the only one who determines who will make withdrawals from either the bank or the mind. All withdrawals from the money bank reduce the account. Withdrawals from the mind increase its strength if you use the right teller. In your mind bank there are two tellers, both of whom are obedient to your every command. One teller is positive and handles positive deposits and positive withdrawals. The other teller is negative and will accept all negative deposits and provide you with negative feedback. As the owner of your mind, you have complete control over all withdrawals and most deposits. The deposits represent your total experience in life. The withdrawals determine your success and happiness. Obviously, you can't withdraw anything that hasn't been deposited. That's true in the cash bank too, isn't it? Each transaction involves a choice of which teller to use. Confront the negative teller with a problem and he will remind you of how poorly you performed in the past. He will predict failure with your current problem. Confront your positive teller, and he will enthusiastically tell you how you successfully dealt with far more difficult problems in the past. He will give you examples of your skill and genius and assure you that you can easily solve this problem. Both tellers are right, because whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. Obviously you know you should deal only with the positive teller, but can you and will you? The natural tendency is to make your withdrawals from the latest deposits in your mind, regardless of whether it was powerful and positive or critical and negative. I emphasize that you have a tendency to withdraw the latest deposit. Obviously the total deposits in your mind will dominate the withdrawals. Question please. Have the deposits been predominantly honest or dishonest? Moral or immoral? Conservative or liberal? God-directed or self-centered? Wasteful or saving? Bold or cautious? Lazy or industrious? Positive or negative? Free enterprise or socialism? This I stress. Lots of negative garbage is and has been dumped into your mind, but a lot of good, clean, powerful deposits and affirmations of "you can do it" have also been injected into your mind, and more are on the way. Now we get into the specifics on how to bury the negative with even more positive deposits so that your positive teller is always armed with positive results. I hope we learned something on how the mind works. Thanks for listening to the Cycle of Life with TES podcast.